We want to bring in Rick Newman for a little bit more on this. And Rick, this has been a goal by the Democrats here for quite some time. I guess the questions are they going to be able to do it this time? Because at least from my understanding, they're positioning it as if we do this, it will actually help pay for part of the huge package that they're going to be laying out tomorrow.
That's right, Shauna. There's no actual legislation yet, but this would be a big deal if it happened. And it's under the radar a little bit right now, so I guess we're trying to put it on the radar. Democrats in the House passed a bill in 2019 that would have allowed Medicare to negotiate drug prices with manufacturers, which basically means putting a cap on prices. Right now, the United States pays by far the most for prescription drugs anywhere in the world. And if Medicare were allowed to do this, they basically would just pay less for drugs. The Congressional Budget Office found it would save Medicare around $50 billion a year. So that's a savings for Medicare, but that's less revenue for pharmaceutical firms. The House probably could pass this again. I think it's a tougher sell in the Senate, as everything seems to be these days. We seem to talk about a lot of different things that may have trouble getting through the Senate, where the Democrats just have a one vote majority. But it sounds like there is going to be some legislation coming as part of this infrastructure package. And this is one of the ways that they could save money that they could then direct towards something else in that big bill that's coming.
Why would it have trouble getting through the Senate? I mean, President Biden refers to the former guy who used to always talk about lowering drug prices. Wouldn't Republicans jump on board with something like this, especially if it's going to pay for infrastructure, which, I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican, you want a piece of that multi-trillion-dollar pie.
Yeah, that's a good point. First of all, the public is strongly in favor of lower drug prices. That's no big surprise. But this is one of the most effective and well-funded lobbying operations in Washington. And Democrats have had control of Congress before, and they've tried to allow Medicare to negotiate drug prices, and they've just not been able to get it. So I don't think anybody's gotten as far as trying to count votes yet. It's possible that Republicans might say, "Oh, we do favor lower drug prices." Of course, who doesn't? But maybe we could do it some other way other than allowing Medicare to basically set caps on prices. So maybe there will be some other form of legislation that would be less painful for the drug companies. But then, of course, if it's less painful for the drug companies, it's going to come up with less money to put toward other things.
The drug companies are going to be the key in all of this, though I would imagine the lobbying effort they're going to make partially answers my question, because they give money, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, to make sure that there is not a cap but from Medicare on the price of drugs, right? I imagine they're going to increase their spending.
Absolutely. And also, they have a lot of friends in Congress, including Senator Bob Menendez from New Jersey. Now, he's a Democrat. He has a lot of control over this issue. A lot of pharmaceutical firms are headquartered in New Jersey, his home state. So they have some important defenders. I think you might even have to ask whether Chuck Schumer would go all in on something like this.